Now I'm going to share with you the history of Reiki, which in Japan they call Reiki. So everything I tell you is of course what I have learned along my way of learning about Reiki. I wasn't there, so I don't actually know all the intimate details of how this modality was birthed, but this is how the story goes. So back in the 1800s, there was a man named Mikao Usui who was born in Japan, and he grew up to be a teacher, I believe a Buddhist monk. He was a ministry man, so he taught a lot about religions to his students. And one day, one of his students asked him, how did Jesus do it? How did he heal people with his hands? And just like any teacher, he didn't have the answer, so he went and sought out the answer. And what he decided to do was climb up a mountain in Japan called Mount Kurama, I believe it's pronounced. And he went up there for a 21-day fast. So he was up there for 21 days praying, meditating to God, just trying to find the answer of how Jesus did it. And on the 21st day, he did not get his answer, and so he got up to leave. Now, just like, when you need to get somewhere and you can't find your keys, and finally you're like, screw it, I'm just gonna call an Uber. And so you grab your phone and you're about to call the Uber, and then you see your keys. So the exact same thing happened to Usui. He was about to get up and go, and all of a sudden, bam, this vision just happened for him. All this energy at his third eye, and he received massive amounts of information, this complete download of all of the Reiki symbols and how to utilize them. So he was overwhelmed by this, of course. I mean, think about it. This man had been in higher elevation, hasn't eaten anything in days, and has just been immersed with God. So he just received this massive download. He's super excited, and so he just goes run down the mountain. And because he's running so fast, he trips and falls and stubs his toe, and it's bleeding. And so he looks at this as a great opportunity to practice this healing system. And so he applies Reiki energy to his foot, and the bleeding stops. And so, of course, this is more validation for him that this modality, this new healing system, is very profound. So then he keeps running down the mountain, and his first stop is the restaurant because the man is hungry. And so he's sitting there, he's eating his noodles or rice or whatever, and he sees the waitress, and she has, I believe, like a sling in her arm, or there's something wrong with her shoulder. So he asks if he can apply this new healing system for her, and of course she's like, sure. And he helps her, and she's flabbergasted. And so the word gets out that this man can heal with his hands like Jesus. And so for the next couple weeks, he's doing his acts of service by helping people with his hands, offering this Reiki energy to help people. But after a few weeks, he started to realize that people were taking advantage of his gifts, and that they weren't empowered, and that they were just kind of can you heal me? and so he wanted to be able to help people help themselves. So he stopped helping people in the way he was and started to work with his students or new students and share this Reiki energy and teach students how to utilize these symbols. And so as time went on, he had a student whose name is Heishi, I think it's pronounced. I'm not very good at pronouncing words sometimes, so I'm pretty sure I botched that name. But he had a student that was very dedicated to the work, and he ended up opening up a clinic in Tokyo, Japan. Then a couple years later, down in Tokyo at a hospital, there was a woman who was going to get surgery. And the day before the surgery, she asks the doctors or the nurses, whoever, I'm not sure, again, I wasn't there. She basically asked, is there anything else I can do besides get the surgery? I don't want to get the surgery, but I'm pretty sure it was like a life or death situation. So she was then told that there was this clinic in Tokyo that people were getting remarkable results from this energy work. And so she decided that she was interested in learning more about it. And she was transferred to the clinic and she started receiving Reiki treatments. I believe it was 4 times a week, and healed within a couple weeks. She didn't need the surgery. She was just completely in faith that this was a profound modality. And after having that life-changing experience, she dedicated the rest of her life to learning and teaching all the levels of Reiki. She eventually moved to Hawaii and then opened up a school and started teaching people Reiki, and ended up attuning 22 Reiki masters. So that's how Reiki made its way to the West. And it's been branching out since then. So that's the basic rundown of the history of Reiki. Hope that was an entertaining story for you. I always love telling it because it's cute. And it's all about faith and just trusting and, you know, using the energy of spirit to help heal people, and just seeing how it's been, you know, so profound for people that they ended up building schools and clinics to help teach people. And just because of that man who not only marinated on a question, but he took it to his heart. He went on a mountain, he went on a complete fast and prayed for this answer, and he was delivered so much information that we now are able to use today. So I guess one of the main lessons of this is sit on your zafu and pray to God and be within your body, and you'll never know what kind of things will come up for you and the world. Namaste. And Reiki blessings to you.